And here we go, we're loading into let's go. Loading into Last Fantasy, as spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Last Fantasy, we have the South Korean Protoss player, we have the red Protoss. It is a creator. And spawning in the top side of Last Fantasy, we have the French Terran player, we have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is a Clem. Here we go. As we are going to be opening up, we are going to be settling in. Welcome to Last Fantasy. Last Fantasy is a 3-player small map. You can spawn in top side, left side, and right side as well. So 3 possible spawn locations. We don't often get to see mini games on Last Fantasy. It is the most vetoed map in the map pool, so I appreciate whenever we do get to experience Last Fantasy. As a result, it can be a little bit quirky here. Of course, we have the speed zones in the center. The map is relatively small. It's a little bit easier to rush and to rotate between bases and to move out across the map, but there are some defensive features here, specifically the high ground, the points of elevation. We have a narrow choke point coming into the third base. We have a narrow choke point here coming into the natural. There's a lot of choke points, a lot of ramps, and we have seen players be successful in being defensive on this map, but in TvP it's a bit of a different dynamic. Is a different dynamic. As creator scouts, creator confirms Clem is topside. Oh, okay, so Clem going to be opening up a double gas into skipping Reaper. Okay, does skip the Reaper, going for the faster factory. You have my attention. Okay, interesting. We're going reactored Reaper Hellion. Are we turning this into a 1-base all-in? As we are building up. So far, creator, he has yet to scout. Oh, this is scary. So it is going to be reactored Reaper Hellion. Creator, he scouts the right hand side. He sees that Clem isn't here. He's like, okay, so I know where Clem is. I know that Clem is top side, and he doesn't check the build. He doesn't check the opener. So for all creator knows, it could be something more economic, or it could be something more aggressive, as we're seeing here. Clem, he is not going for the starport. He is going to be expanding, so not a 1-base all-in, but still hyper aggressive. The Reaper Hellion is building up, and creator is currently in the dark. And there's a higher chance he's going to be punished. Here comes the hallucination scouts. Does get eyes on the first Reaper, but again, the Reapers, they were split. And alas, we have more Reapers on the way. Spots a Hellion. Is aware of the later CC. And now does scout the add-ons. Shield Barrier's on the way. Rolling up. There we go, we have 1 Shield Barrier in the main base, 1 Shield Barrier in the natural. Again, Shield Barrier is going to be quite necessary here to defend. As creator, he has 3 units. He has 2 Stalkers and 1 Sentry. But it all comes together, and the shield barriers, they are delayed. Can he get the sentry? He wants it. Yeah, sentry goes down. Massive pickup. Shield barrier's not done. Stalker's gonna fall as well. Now we can go straight for the mineral line. Sorry, the second Stalker under fire does defend though. Stalker pops out, and creator holds. Whew. Creator, he does holds on. Did end up losing the sentry and the Stalker. These are still some big losses, but he does survive. Bearing in mind that 3 Hellions do one-shot probes, so these 3 Hellions are going to be a big threat. Reaper's back into the main. Oh. Hellions into the natural. They get into the mineral line. Oh, and probes are lining up. Yeah, probes are lining up, getting 3 probes so far. Getting 4. Only 4. Clem does pull away. Behind this, going for, I believe... Oh, I assumed he was going to wait for the tank, but never mind. Moving out with his drop. Liberty behind this. The aggression does not end. He spots the would-be third. Was this 2-gate? Ooh, 2-gate blink into a third base. Very greedy build here by creator. Yeah, creator is cutting corners, staying on a lower gateway count. And he will lose 2 more probes. 2 more probes do fall. And again, we're building up. We're building up to an eventual early push. Tanks are amassing. Vikings on the way as well. Clem is topping up. And here comes the move out. Hallucination does scout, so Creator, he's aware. But again, as we mentioned, Creator, he's on a he only has 2 gateways. Like his production is quite low. He's being greedy. Clem is coming in. Nice positioning. He does take down the Hellions at least. Gets one Marine. Liberator into the main. Clem trying to force his way through. And probes are going down. Okay, 5 probe kills already. Within range of the wall. Meanwhile, we do see Creator coming in for the surround. Okay, he's going for the dive. Blinks on forward, takes out the first tank. He gets one. Oh, but brutal losses. Yeah, brutal losses here. Very nice control out of Clem. He juggles. Juggles the tank, shuts down the stalkers. The flank was unsuccessful, and Clem is breaking in. He's breaking into the natural. Tanks are moving forward as well. Medevac is targeted down. The boys are being pulled. Creator getting desperate. Boys are being pulled into Vikings of all things. One tank goes down. Just the one. GG gets called, and Clem, he overwhelms. Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Very bold move by Creator to go 2-gate blink. A very greedy build, especially on Last Fantasy, especially after scouting a more aggressive opener out of Clem. So Creator was basically, he was just gambling. Creator, he was gambling. He was hoping that maybe Clem would be being a little bit more defensive or a little bit more economic himself. So we did see Creator cutting corners, rushing to a 3rd base. As a result, later gateways, later warpins, later army. That's why he was vulnerable when he was, and Clem did overwhelm. Did barely break through. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game number 2. Clem does have a lead in the series, and we'll see if Creator can recover and bounce back. As we are loading into Tokamak, a much larger map of the map pool. Much larger, much more defensive, and we should be seeing a longer game here. Should be. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. With the blue Protoss, it is Creator. Here we go. And again, Creator, he was just cutting corners, he was being greedy. Nowadays, I will say that 2-gate blink into a 3rd base has fallen out of favor, except for these larger maps. I should emphasize that I'm not opposed to Creator being greedy and cutting corners here. Like on Tokamak, it makes more sense. It does make more sense. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground, more defensive, natural 3rd and 4th base as well. Very defensive 4-base setup. So this is a map where Creator can cut some corners, and we should often see a longer and later game. But Clem does open double gas again. Okay, so double gas open out of Clem. What does this mean? This means he's once again going for a faster factory. Last game, he doubled down and went Reactor Reaper Hellion. This time, we could see something a little bit more tame, but regardless, with excess gas, means faster factory and faster starport. As it should be a CC after the factory. First Reapers on the way. This time Creator scouts. This time he moves out with his probe. And does confirm the factory timing, so he knows. Now the goal here is to hide the probe and try to keep it alive on the Reaper. Probe does pull back home, does race back, and should make it back home. So it's going to be Reaper into factory into reactor. Okay, CC on the high ground. Command center's on the way. Ooh, as Clem barely gets into the main base. Oh, where are we going? He does make a rush for it. And he does get the tank, gets eyes on the Twilight Council, he knows. And wow, Clem, he tries to get away, but he should not be able to. There we go, he gets shot down. Creator holds. Creator, he defends. Behind this, Clem going for his own Cyclone opener. As you can see here, this is a much more, like, quote-unquote tame opener. Getting back into it, last game it was Reactor Reaper Hellion. This game, 0 Hellions. 0 Hellion production is going Reactor Marine into a faster Cyclone into a faster Starport for drop play. We did mention that because of the double gas opener, so it means we can get into a faster Starport. Drops are going to be on the horizon, a very different kind of opener compared to game 1. Likewise, we'll see how many gateways Creator does invest into. So far, that is the second gateway. That up's taken from the Cyclone at least. Drop is on the way. Behind this, going for the early tank and Viking. This is looking like an early push again, an earlier move out. Has been quite trendy. As landed Vikings can actually add quite a lot of DPS this early on. Drop gets into the main base. This does ideally force a distraction, and it does allow Clem to move out. Yep, here comes a push. We're just rallying. We're just rallying everything across the map. As we mentioned, the reason why there's Vikings on the way is because we just need as much DPS as possible, as much damage output. And Creator's distracted. And again, this follow-up here has been very trendy over the past, like, month or so. And here comes Clem. Blink is about to finish. Ideally, you want to slow this down, but Creator, he was busy with the Cyclone. That's the offensive pylon. No, the pylon! The pylon's going to go down. Blink is not going to finish. 2 seconds away. No shot. Gateways get depowered. I believe there's only one gate. Yeah, only one gateway. One gateway, one warp in. Ay, ay, ay. They have brutal tank volleys on the Stalkers. Stalkers, they cannot engage, not without Blink. Ah, God. Cybercore is being targeted, so you cannot warp in Stalkers anyway. Yeah, Cybercore goes down. Blink will complete, but what you see is what you get. So we have how many Stalkers? We have 6. So 6 Stalkers. Second tank arrives. Snipes the Observer. And Clem is going for the kill. He's going for the natural. Ay, ay, ay. The Immortal will help, but the Robo is under fire. Blinks in. Gets one. Gets one tank. Oh, good. He gets punished, though. That's going to be 2 Stalkers going down. The Immortal has arrived. Remember, we're only warping in Zealots. Slow lots even. And Creator, it looks like, can he barely hold on? Not with reinforcements. Not with reinforcements. The tank survives. Immortal goes down. And Clem has done it. Kills the Robo. No Immortals. Only slow lots to warp in. GG gets called. And Clem, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that Clem. He does claim the series, does advance on. Again, a hyper aggressive build. As we mentioned, this build has been very popular in recent times, in recent weeks, specifically going for your initial drop play, your initial Cyclone Marine drop to distract, and then bam, tank and Viking rally across the map. As we mentioned, it looks a little bit weird to make Vikings this early on for their anti-air. It's not about the anti-air. Landed Vikings do actually do a lot of damage against gateway units, specifically Stalkers, and against probes as well. It's just all about just getting as much damage output as you can early on to kill. GG. GG, well played. And again, it was just really unfortunate that that Blink was delayed as it was. The Tosis pylon went down, denied any kind of warp-ins. Just everything went wrong there for Creator. GG. GG, well played. Oh, that was a fast series. That was a fast series. Hyper aggression out of Clem. And here we go. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. We're getting ready for the finals, the final series of the broadcast. When we come back, we'll have a Clem versus Max in a TvP, in a best of 5. Stop building rerolls because that happening. I mean, it's still viable to go for that. It's just imperative that you do get a backup pylon and they're able to slow things down. Bearing in mind, one of the reasons why that worked as well as it did is because Creator was distracted. Remember, he was distracted by what? By the Cyclone drop. Because the Cyclone drop was distracting, he wasn't able to slow down and delay and scout the move outs when it was coming across the map. Right, like otherwise typically Creator, he'd be active on the map, he'd be able to slow it down, able to engage, force and release siege, pick away at the army, and there'd be a bit of a different dynamic there. So it is still viable to go for the wall off there on the Reaper Cliff. Still very viable, if not standard. But for now, we're going to be going on a break. When we come back, we will see you with Clem versus Max. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.